Why do some men feel such a deep connection to cars? Why is it that a machine made of metal, rubber, and fuel can spark pride, desire, obsession, even identity? At first glance, the answer seems simple. Cars are fast, cars are powerful, cars are beautiful. But if we stop there, we miss the real story. Because the truth is far more uncomfortable and far more revealing than horsepower or design. To understand why men love cars, we need to travel back more than a century to a time before highways, before racing culture, before advertising as we know it today. And there we meet a man who never wrote about cars at all, but somehow explained them perfectly. His name was Thorstein Veblen. Veblen was not an engineer, not a marketer, and not a psychologist in the modern sense. He was an economist and social theorist living at the turn of the 20th century, a sharp observer of human behavior in an age of rapid industrial change. While others focused on production and efficiency, Veblen asked a different question. Why do people buy things they don't actually need? Why do individuals spend enormous amounts of money, not for survival, but for display? His answer was deceptively simple. People consume to be seen. He called it conspicuous consumption, the act of buying and displaying goods not for their practical value, but for the social signals they send. According to Veblen, consumption is rarely just about usefulness. It is about status, about hierarchy, about proving one's place in the social order without saying a word. And few objects perform this function more efficiently than the automobile. From the very beginning, cars were never neutral tools. They were loud, visible, expensive, and impossible to ignore. Owning one meant more than mobility. It meant power over distance, over time, over others who could not afford the same freedom. The car was not just a vehicle, it was a statement. As automobiles became more widespread, something interesting happened. Their practical function began to fade into the background, while their symbolic function grew stronger. Two cars could perform the same task, carry a person from point A to point B. Yet one could cost 10 times more than the other. Why? Because the expensive car did not merely transport the body, it transported identity. It said something about who the driver was, or who he wanted to be. Strength, control, success, independence, even dominance. The car became an extension of the self, especially for men living in societies where status, power, and competition were deeply tied to masculinity. This is where psychology quietly enters the picture. For many men, identity has long been linked to external achievement. What they build, what they conquer, what they control. Cars fit perfectly into this framework. They respond instantly to commands. They amplify speed and force. They obey. In a world where control is increasingly abstract, a car offers something tangible. Press the pedal and power answers immediately. That sensation is not trivial. It is deeply emotional. And once emotion enters the equation, rational choice often exits. Modern advertising understood this long before most consumers did. Car commercials rarely talk about fuel efficiency or reliability in isolation. Instead, they sell narratives. A man alone on an empty road, a city bending around his movement, a machine roaring like a living creature. The message is never spoken directly, but it is always understood. This car will make you more than you are now, more respected, more desired, more real. Veblen would have recognized this instantly. To him, such images were not about transportation. They were rituals of modern status display. But the story does not end with status. There is also nostalgia. For many men, cars are tied to memory, to fathers, to first freedoms, to moments of transformation. The first time sitting behind the wheel alone. The first long drive without permission. The first taste of independence. These moments anchor cars deep within emotional memory. They stop being objects and become symbols of becoming. Letting go of a car, then, can feel like letting go of a version of oneself. Yet Veblen would warn us here. When identity becomes too tightly bound to possessions, the individual becomes fragile. If self-worth depends on what is owned, then it must constantly be defended, upgraded, displayed. This creates a loop: desire, acquisitions, brief satisfaction, and renewed desire. The car, in this sense, becomes both reward and burden. It promises fulfillment, but never allows it to last. And still, the cycle continues. So do men love cars because of engineering? Partially. Because of speed? Sometimes. But beneath all of that lies a deeper truth. Cars are powerful social symbols, shaped by centuries of status competition, cultural expectation, and psychological need. They are mirrors as much as machines. And when a man looks at his car, he is often not asking how well it drives, but what it says about him. Thorstein Veblen never lived to see the modern car culture we know today, but his ideas predicted it with unsettling accuracy. He showed us that consumption is rarely innocent, that desire is often social, and that objects can quietly govern our sense of self. The question, then, is not why men love cars. The real question is this: if cars disappeared tomorrow, what would replace them as the next symbol of power, identity, and status? And would we recognize the pattern this time, or repeat it all over again?